everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Alex, also known as Living Lines. Today we have a redesign for the Pokemon Johto Pokedex. We've got the Chikorita evolution line. I hope you can bear with me today because my voice is not the best. I'm feeling quite ill. So as always, we never jump straight into a design because this is a character redesign. We're going to be going through some sketchy poses, practicing with different shapes and proportions as always. And this time I wanted to achieve quite a graphic style with strong shapes, strong edges, and I initially really wanted to go outside of my comfort zone, but you will see towards the end, as I've been sick all week, I kind of regressed and retreated back into that safe place. But I'm still happy with the final outcome, and I'm going to take you through how I created it from start to finish. So we've got a lot of roughs to choose from, and I pick one and I play with the proportions a little bit. You know, I make the legs a bit bigger. What if I make the head huge? Just, you know, anything goes at this stage because you're not committed to anything, and this is where you're working out all of the things that you could be doing with your character design. This is where you find out what works, what doesn't, what looks ridiculous, like those long legs that I've ended up with on that other little one, but there, help me. So you will have seen in the last video, I redesigned the Totodile evolution line. I actually had to go back and redo Totodile because his shape language wasn't cohesive with the others. To prevent that this time, I've made sure to design them all in tandem, make sure their shape language works and gels with each other right from the really rough stages of sketching, and I've put them all in the corner up there just so that I've got a reference for my new personality sketches. I looked at the Pokedex entries for these guys as I wanted to get them all interacting with each other. I'm trying to tell better stories with my art instead of just drawing characters in poses with no context. And this is going to help me push myself to learn a new skill because, quite frankly, I suck at storytelling. I call myself an animator. So Chikorita really loves to sunbathe, so, you know, we're going to make him lounge around. There's no better way to do that. Bayleef is a moody teenager and he's always angry all the time. So again, maybe he can be angry at Chikorita because he's always lounging around sunbathing, and maybe he needs to do more and farm more onions. I don't know. Meganium is actually really pretty awesome. I had no idea, but it can breathe life back into dead plants, and it can calm entities with its breath, which is kind of strange but also really cool. Here I am lining my final illustration and also putting in some clipping masks with some base colours. The reason I use the clipping masks is to preserve my edges, make sure that I'm not getting all the blurry lines that I am so guilty of doing in digital art, and I really want to stay away from. I'm really trying to improve. I also want to put in a little bit of a background, so here I'm playing with my brush strokes, making some really nice expressive brush strokes on the floor and combining them with smaller little brush strokes for the grass and other things in the scenery. And I figured, hey, you know, let's just go full hog and make this a full-on story illustration as well as a character redesign. And you can see this is where I start to go back into my comfort zone, but you know, I'm making something. And the reason I wanted to make a YouTube channel was to share my art with the world, because I feel like I'm always quite shy with it and I hide a lot of it away. And I shouldn't do that, because the reason I like doing this kind of thing is to make other people happy as well as myself. So I hope you'll enjoy this journey with me. We've got about 100 Pokemon in the Johto Dex to go through, and we've only done 6, so it's going to be a bumpy ride, and I hope you enjoy it, because I'm already really enjoying it. But yeah, we decided to make Chikorita a shiny version, not just because it's so cute with the autumn colours and it's nearly October now, so I'm in fall mode, but because we needed a focal point for this. There's a lot of green, a lot of green, and I wanted to make sure there was something apart from the red flowers of Meganium that stood out here, just to draw your eye right into the middle of the scene. So yeah, he's a little shiny, he's a special boy. Maybe that's why Bayleef's so angry with him, because he gets all the attention, because he's a lovely little yellow ball of sunshine and everything else is green, so everyone always wants to be around Chikorita because he's so cool and shiny. Hey, I don't know, I just like thinking about these things. So Meganium's all chill. He's like, yeah, sure, you can rest on my leg. I don't mind. It's all good. Maybe Bayleef is just like, what the hell, dude? Get up and do some farming. Make some onions. Look at all these carrots you need to pick. Yeah, those are supposed to be carrots sprouting out of the ground. But they're not the main point of the illustration, so I didn't really put too much detail into those. They're just big bits of green grass that are sprouting out of the ground. What I'm doing with the lighting situation here, I actually learnt in a video by Marco Bucci. I really hope I'm saying that name right. But he's amazing. He's got a YouTube channel with a lot of educational videos. So if you are interested in learning about colour and light and all sorts of other stuff, I will link his YouTube channel in the description. And I would highly recommend you check him out because he's amazing. So as you can see, I'm adding shadows to everything and really aiming to get some nice ambient occlusion in there. Some ambient shadows in and occlusion shadows. The occlusion shadows are where no light would hit. So as you can see, they're really strong underneath Meganium, where this big lumpy boy is sitting on the grass. Not much light is going to be getting underneath there, so it's going to be darker. And also in the holes with the petals, there's going to be a lot of occlusion in there. And then I've gone in and I've added some blue light for the daylight all over where the shadows are not touching, because the daylight bounces everywhere, bounces off the ground and onto things, so everything is covered in ambient daylight. And then I finally added in some nice strong yellows for the sunlight, which I imagine would be coming maybe from above and behind. So there's not a lot over the front, but you can see there's a lot on the top of Meganium and Bayleef. And it would shine through leaves and petals as well, so you might be thinking, why have you got it on the petal in the front? It wouldn't be hitting there. It's because, you know, they're semi-translucent, so I'm taking a few artistic liberties. I don't think this is 100% accurate, but for what I'm trying to achieve, it works. I really struggled with the shadows on Bayleef actually, because he's in such an awkward pose, but I feel like I did get there in the end. Yeah, I mean, the main reason I wanted to make this YouTube channel was to share my art with the world, and I am guilty of hiding my art a lot, and it is a very personal thing for me, but I think it's going to help me grow and just, I don't know, meet more people as an artist, because it can get quite lonely. And this is mainly about boosting my own confidence, because I find myself feeling quite insecure at times about my art, and just the act of simply making something, it can do wonders. And you know, I hope you enjoy this journey with me, because it's gonna be an interesting one. But back to the task at hand. You will see in a moment, in my infinite wisdom, I decided to make this a sunset scene. When I'd already done all of my ambient daylight in blue, and I'd already done all of my shadows to reflect that too. You know, it's not the end of the world though. I will show you now how I quickly fixed that. But first we're going to put some sparkles on this little sun boy. So I used some gradient maps, and I used two. I used one with some nice light pink and light blue just to unify all of the shadow and highlight colours. And then I put another one over the top with red, orange and yellow in there. And the gradient map is applied on a soft light layer, and it just helps to unify all of the colours. I mean, I should have planned better for the illustration, but you know, sometimes it takes on a life of its own and it becomes something you didn't plan. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Just a quick heads up, Inktober's coming up and I'm planning on doing a video every day of my inking. So to reflect that, I'm going to need to have a break. Until the 1st of October, there will be no more videos on this channel. And this is because I need to prepare in advance. With a baby, I need to do this. I need to plan. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. What was your favourite Pokemon back in the day? And have a great rest of the month, guys. Bye.